I recently joined Via Water as Junior Program Manager. I originally come from Pakistan. My parents are actually from the northern part of Pakistan, which is surrounded by the Himalayas, the Karakoram, and the Hindu Kush mountain ranges. But they migrated to the south of the country, which is Karachi, the biggest city in Pakistan, and that's where I was born and I grew up.
You want to tell me what did you study and where did you study?
I did my bachelor's in economics from Karachi, the city where I grew up. After that, I started to work for one of the largest development organizations in Pakistan. And while I was working, I decided to pursue an MBA. So I did my MBA with concentration in marketing. And after that, I worked for the organization for about 5 years. And that's when after working and gaining intense experience for field work, I decided to take a break and come to the Netherlands and do my master's in environmental management and planning from the UNESCO.
And so somewhere along the way you got interested in water?
So interest in water actually came in when I started to work for an NGO as a full-time employee, and when I worked on really rural water and sanitation projects in really far-off areas of Pakistan. I really got interested in water, and I really realized that water for many plays a really big role for their survival, and that's where I realized that this is something I really want to kind of do if I want to do development work.
During your studies and during your time here in Delft, I think you have been involved in the Water Youth Network. What does that entail?
That's correct. So Water Youth Network is basically a group of young water professionals who are kind of spread out in the whole world. We're interested and we're working on water-related issues in our countries. And since I was based in the Netherlands, I was part of a lot of international events and forums where I was advocating for youth participation in the water sector, in the water-related policy processes. I'm right now working on a Sustainable Development Goal project, which is funded by EU, bringing together youth from Asian and European countries, and I'm involved in the project in the capacity to kind of build the capacity of young people in understanding and leading Sustainable Development Goal projects in their countries. So that's just one of the examples of the kind of projects that we're kind of engaged in.
I'm sure you're just getting to know everything and everyone, but I'm curious, do you have expectations for your time at Water, and what are they?
My plans and my expectations are really to kind of be able to learn and really see how far our idea of investing in innovation, particularly in water in Africa, works, and to what extent is this replicable for future decision making of the Dutch aid for the African countries. And that's something I'm really particularly interested in because I've worked on NGO based projects, and I know how the projects kind of at some point end and there is no way further from it. But that's the reason that I joined Bear Water, because I really want to see how far this approach works. So these are my plans and my expectations from the program.
Final question. What is your ultimate drive for working in this sector, and what is your hope for this sector in 40 or 50 or 60, whatever years?
My main motivation is that I really want to do something for that group of people that is normally forgotten, and those are the poorest. The aid is made for them, but it hardly reaches them, or when it reaches them, it doesn't reach them the right way that it brings in a sustainable change in their life. And so that's my ultimate kind of motivation to be in the water sector or in the development sector, because I really want to make sure that that group of people benefits and their life changes, and we're able to do something that helps them improve the quality of their life. And I've seen a lot of injustice, especially in the water sector, and the way projects do not work, or the way they're not sustainable. And so I want to make sure that in the next 30 to 40 years we're able to at least do you know do work for that particular group and help them, you know, come out of poverty and their situation.
Thanks.